How can you reduce the running cost of your heat pump? Electricity is a really expensive fuel, so we want to make sure that when we're running an electric heat pump, we're running it efficiently so that the electricity bill is as low as possible. So how do we do that? There's a few things that we can look at here. The first thing is to maximise the system efficiency at the start so that you are consuming as little electricity to generate the energy that you need right from the off. You also need to have a look at the heat load of the building. So if there's opportunity to reduce the heat load, that will mean that your heat pump is smaller and your annual energy demand is lower. So therefore, whether you were running a gas boiler or a heat pump, it would still cost you a lot less to heat the same building. You could also look at reducing flow temperatures, because that's one of the biggest things that you can do to affect the COP or the efficiency of your heat pump, which will lead to lower running costs. Really important to monitor your heat pump so that if the performance does start to drop, that you notice it very quickly so that your electricity bills don't escalate. Because this is all about the fact that your heat pump is consuming electricity, so your electricity bill will go up. If you want to reduce the amount of electricity you're consuming off the national grid, the way to do that is to generate your own electricity. If you're a homeowner, you might just have a small roof. Or if you're a large college, for example, you might have loads of roof space. Either way, you can generate your own electricity through the use of solar PV, and you can use that within your heat pump to offset the amount of electricity that's taken from the grid. There's a lot actually we could go into there in terms of electricity and solar power that's available and when the heat pump needs it. Battery storage is another great thing to look at, because if you want, for example, to run your heat pump in the evening, but you've got solar generated during the day, you can store the electricity in your battery and then the heat pump can use that later. The other thing that might be worth looking at is thermal storage. It works exactly the same way. The heat pump will run during the day when there's solar power, but store the energy in thermal storage for use later on in the evening or the next day. The last thing you might want to think about and have a look at is time of use tariffs. So these enable you to take advantage of lower tariffs at particular times of the day, and there might be half-hour periods, but it means that when there's a big demand on the national grid, or when there's a lot of renewables on the grid, your heat pump can operate at different times to take advantage of that, and you may then benefit from a much lower tariff. To recap, in order to save money on your heat pump system, there are several things you can do. You need to reduce your electricity consumption first of all, and you can do that by increasing system efficiency, by lowering flow temperatures and reducing the heat demand of the building first. Then have a look at generating your own electricity and then storing it in batteries for when your heat pump needs it. And finally, have a look at time of use tariffs for cheaper electricity. And don't forget to monitor your system to keep an eye on consumption.